Welcome back, real nerds. It's time for some real talk. I'm your host today for 22 August 2017's episode of Scooter's Take. I am your boy Scooter, aka Scott, aka Bobby's in the studio with me, but you can't see him. Ha 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 ha. They can't. I hate you. Well, today we got some news. Not a lot of news, but some decent news. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get started with some big news. Xbox One X. Now, we talked about it yesterday on my terrible stream with the echoey voice. If you saw it, I'm sorry. Xbox One X is almost sold out of pre-orders, and we're talking like at this moment it could be. So if you haven't gotten one yet on pre-order, and we're talking about the Project Scorpio edition because no other Xbox One X edition is out yet for pre-order. So there's no standard edition available yet. But if you're looking to get an Xbox One X and you want that Project Scorpio edition, and you can possibly get one, still try your local GameStops. I believe Best Buy might still have some, but I believe Amazon and the Microsoft Store itself is sold out. So make sure you guys go check that out if you want to get one of the Project Scorpio editions, because I'm not sure if they're going to add any more pre-orders to that. It might just be coming out with the standard edition after these pre-orders sell out. So remember, Microsoft already put out that they were not going to be making any more of these limited edition versions of their Xbox. Not saying you should go buy one, but if you're looking to get one, there you go. Next up, we have Uber. Uber is going to add in a feature to the driver side of the app. So if you're a driver for Uber, if you're a driver for Uber, Uber's a funny word. Stop looking at me like that. I rode an Uber. Anyways, if you're a driver for Uber, this kind of pertains to you, and you might already know about it, but it's hard for Uber drivers to decline rides that riders ask for because they get negatively impacted on their account. So now they're gonna make it a little bit more, give them a little more freedom to do that, especially with trips that are like if they have to come pick you up, 45 minutes away from where they're at or whatever, they can decide to decline without it necessarily hurting their acceptance rates. So that's good news for them. I almost thought about being an Uber driver once when I was in Hawaii, but I'd rather drink beer. It's like I'd rather be picked up by the Uber than call the Uber. Or be the Uber, I guess. Yeah. I want my Chinese food so bad. Just so you know, we're waiting on Chinese food. Since the last stream. Well, I mean, that was only half an hour ago, but Linksys is making or they already did make, it's coming out very soon. They're making a $300 router that will allow you gamers or you binge-heavy Netflix watchers or whatever to get priority on your wireless network. So if you don't know, when you use your wireless router or whatever, it doesn't necessarily prioritize where the data goes. So if you have, like most houses have multiple computers and cell phones and whatnot and smart devices, so usually just divvies it out, evenly or whatever based off of the load, or sometimes other things take into account with that. But there's nothing that says like, Jimmy's Xbox is going to get this much throughput on the bandwidth because he needs it for video games, for online multiplayer or whatever. So there's not a lot of boxes out there, but Linksys is making a new one called the Linksys WRT32X, which just sounds like a lot of boring numbers and letters. But they announced this back in January, and it's just now becoming available soon for $299.99. It has your AC, 5 Ethernet ports, a USB 3.0 port, and then 4 dual-band antennas. And it also works with OpenWRT, which is an open source firmware that allows you to do more customization. For $300, so like my router, my router that we use, we have 2 routers in my house, or in the studio area, I guess you could say. We have the router from the IPS, or the ISP, which is a Comcast, and that doubles as a router modem, so we use that. And then we also have a wireless router in the hallway to expand our network, and that's a Linksys, like, dual band antenna. Yeah, dual band, yeah, it has 5.0 and 2.4. But it has 3 antennas on the back, I believe. So, it's nice. But mine was $150, I think, at Best Buy. I don't remember exactly, but it was like $150. So $300, like, when I think about $300 for routers, I'm thinking about spending that kind of money on a whole home solution. Like Orbi, I think, is one of them. Linksys, I believe, has one, or Cisco does, I'm not sure. But it's, they have these whole home solutions that have, basically wireless repeaters at your house, so you always have signal no matter where you're at, and you have less dead zones and whatnot. So I kind of think I'd rather just have that for $300. But if you're looking for something like that, or if you don't have dead zones because you have a, either a 1-story building or something like that, then that might be good for you, especially if you're a video game player. The only thing I wish for is more upload speeds. That's all I want more. Gamescom was this last weekend. A lot of new stuff came out of that. Nintendo even made some new announcements for Splatoon 2 and ARMS. For Splatoon 2, we have 2 new stages coming to the game. They came out yesterday and today, or I'm sorry, yesterday and the day before, I believe. No, I'm sorry, this weekend. This weekend will be one of the maps, and then yesterday, I believe, was the first map. So the first map was going to be called the Lost Outpost, which is going to be in your Salmon Run queue. For multiplayer, we have Manta Maria, which is going to launch this weekend, and it has apparently an enormous sailing boat inside of it, and you can play both Turf War and Ranked Battle stages there. So, there we go. At least I applaud any developer or whatever producer of a video game that keeps adding content without making you pay for it, especially so soon, especially so close to launch. Which, I mean, with multiplayer shooters like that, it's a lot easier to do it just because it's multiplayer, it's all online anyways, and all they do is send you a patch, basically. So, it definitely helps out a lot. My phone's ringing, which means Chinese food is here. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. But anyways, so we have that, and there's also a new weapon in Splatoon coming on September 1st. It's going to be the Bubble Blower. It can produce 3 huge bubbles, which can be used either defensively, absorbing enemy fire, or offensively by dousing in your own team ink and triggering an explosion. So, bubble bomb, basically. It'll be available with the Forge Splattershot Pro as well, starting September 1st. So that's good news for any Splatoon players. I like Splatoon, so that'll be fun to see. ARMS is also getting something new. It's getting a new character, new hero, whatever you want to call it, named Lola Pop. She's a street-performing clown with a unique ability to inflate her body like a balloon. It's obviously going to give her some benefits to defense, and she has also a new candy-themed arena to attach herself with. This will be coming to the version 3 update, which is set to arrive sometime soon. So Splatoon players and ARMS players, rejoice. It's going to be a good day. All right. Oh, we also have another thing from Nintendo for Gamescom. They also announced a new 3DS XL. I love that name. So we have a Super Nintendo themed new Nintendo 3DS XL. It's beautiful. It definitely looks kind of like the NES version that came out, obviously. But the thing is, so when you have the clamshell 3DS XL, right? So the front of it, so the top, and then you have the bottom, right? They don't look that great. The top has some stuff on it, but it's not really that awesome looking. It's got the inscription of Super Nintendo Entertainment System, but I don't know. The thing is, this is going to be like a $200 system, I'm guessing. It's going to come out for $199.99 just because, it's Nintendo. But it has no America or North American release date just yet, but it is coming out in Europe on October 13th. So, in my own personal opinion, not worth buying, but if you're a collector, to each his own. Gamescom this year also gave us some Star Wars Battlefront 2 news. Space battles are apparently going to be faster and sleeker and better sounding than ever. This is coming from an article on IGN.com from Andrew Goldfarb. Oh man, I love Andrew Goldfarb, man. Great news from that guy. Love him. Anyways, Battlefront 2's Starfighter Assault mode is one of the few modes you can do on Battlefront 2. Bobby's back with Chinese food. Yay! But apparently it's going to be a lot more deadly, a lot more fast-paced than it was in the previous game. So, if you still have the old game, which I do, maybe you should start practicing. But, it looks like we're going to have a lot more in-space battles as well, which is awesome. I can't wait for that. I might actually revisit Battlefront 1, or I should say the new Battlefront 1, I guess, just because of all the DLC that came out for it. And I believe there are actually some pretty cool battles going on over there. So maybe there's still some people playing. I'll try it out. Starbucks tea. Next up, we got A Loud Noise by Bobby. You got a cola? Oh, it's for my house. Okay. No. Oh, was it?
It's complimentary.
Complimentary colas.
It's hot.
Oh, jeez. Final Fantasy 15 has revealed a pocket edition of the game coming to mobile phones, everywhere. It's going to be weird. But it's coming to iOS, Android, and Windows 10 devices nonetheless. Final Fantasy Pocket Edition will be available at some point in the future. They're saying fall 2017, but I don't know. So this is basically a way for you to play the story mode through Final Fantasy 15 on your phone with less of like the extra stuff, mostly just to get the feel of what was his name? What was his name? Nodus? God, it's gonna kill me for the rest of the day. I didn't finish Final Fantasy 15, so I think it's Noctis or something like that. People are gonna kill me for not knowing this name. But anyways, yeah, you're gonna have the whole storyline. It's gonna be obviously a little bit more dumbed down just because of the graphics and everything. Final Fantasy 15 was pretty graphic intense, so expect to see different animation style for sure. Just from watching the trailer or the announcement, you can already tell it's different. Obviously, more animated, more cartoony. But you're gonna get that Final 15 storyline that you really want to see, as well as if you've seen Kingsglaive, this kind of goes hand in hand with that. Noctis. Lucius. Salem? That's a long name. His arm! Oh, wait. So, Bobby, what do you think of the news so far? Even if it was a thumbs down, I would have said fuck you anyways.
I like it. It's okay.
It's okay. Stranger Things is going to be having a season 2 coming up, right? So season 2 releases this year. Season 3 has already been... It's coming. Season 3 is also going to be coming as well. And they have announced that Stranger Things will actually end at season 4. So season 4 finale will be the last episode of Stranger Things. Do we know when this is going to be coming? Probably not. But Stranger Things 3, I'm guessing, is going to come out next year. And then Stranger Things 4 the next year after that. So we're looking at 2019 being the last year of Stranger Things, if that's how it goes. But at least we all know now that we're getting 4 full seasons of Stranger Things, which is going to be awesome. I actually need to finish the last couple episodes in season 1 before season 2 comes out. But I'm probably just going to rewatch the whole thing just so I'm like completely caught up. Some movie news. The Conjuring universe, which includes The Conjuring 1, The Conjuring 2, Annabelle, and Annabelle Creations, has now passed a huge milestone in cinematic history, passing $1 billion at the global box office. So the Conjuring universe that is part of 4 movies has now reached a whopping bazillion dollars. Not really bazillion, but it's a lot. It's over $1 billion. Which, I mean, for any kind of movie, especially for a horror movie, area, horror movies usually don't do or tend not to do as well as other movies, just because horror movies are kind of cheaper to make. Usually, there's not as much. I mean, there are scary movies that have a lot of good storyline in them, but for the most part, it's kind of like a, 2-show pony or 2-pony show, whatever you want to call it. But the way that they do this is just in the Conjuring universe, I guess you could say, is just really good. I love all the Conjuring movies. Annabelle Creation, which I said was, it was a decent movie. It wasn't great, but it was still good. It was kind of a one-trick pony, but it told a really good story, and it showed you how things kind of loop back. Like even with Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activities were never good movies. Like those were never good movies. But the things, if you watched all of them like I did, I loved watching them because the storyline that you actually saw in the background was what most people, I think, were looking for. At least people who really liked Paranormal Activity. And when they made all the movies and they kept looping it back to certain areas, really built a huge story in your life. It was pretty cool. So I really liked what they did with that, and that's why they made so much money as well. But what was it? There was that one movie. It was like about a high school where they hung the guy in a play. That movie looked so good in the trailers. Ended up being god awful in theaters. I didn't actually see it in theaters, but I ended up seeing it at home, and I was like, "What is this garbage?" I can't remember what it's called, but it was just bad. If you watch horror movies, then you probably know what I'm talking about. It came out like maybe 2 years ago. Some news to some PC games and whatnot. Overwatch is getting a significant change to D.Va, everybody's favorite annoying character. So, D.Va is a tank character from Overwatch, and she's going to be getting some upgrades and some other stuff to her, making her defense matrix. So her energy drain will be increased by 2, and that means her effective uptime for the ability has been reduced by 50%. Her boosters can now use her fusion cannons while flying. That's good for not me, because I don't main D.Va, but whatever. Micro missiles is going to be a new ability. Diva launches a long salvo of small missiles that explode on impact, dealing damage in a small radius around them. This ability can be used while using her other abilities or firing her fusion cannons. This is going to bring a lot more offensive ability to Diva as a character on this game, which I don't know if this will make her too OP because she's already pretty spanking good. Pretty spanking good. It's fun to say. Pretty spanking good. But, I mean, what are you gonna do? Every time they make updates to these characters, it's like this weird trickling effect. They make one character a little bit stronger than everybody else. Everybody goes play them. They realize that they need to make other characters a little bit stronger. They make one or two characters a little bit stronger, and then at some point, everybody's kind of balanced out at some point. But the game never ends, so they just kind of keep adding numbers. So whatever. But that is it today. There wasn't too much news out there that was very exciting, but what I gave you guys today was good. I am Scott, aka Scooter, aka about to eat this Chinese food like a madman. It is 22 August 2017, and this has been your episode of Scooter's Take. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Make sure you guys go to teespring.com/RNRT. Grab your t-shirts, your hoodies, your stickers. They're great. I have one right here. It's awesome. So, and there's one on my car. Like, it's glorious. Thank you to everybody who has purchased a shirt or a hoodie or whatever. We greatly appreciate your support. The next stream coming up will be Nerds at Night with myself and Bobby Law at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday morning. So that's later on tonight, early tomorrow morning, whatever you want to call it. Our subject for Nerds at Night tonight will be our top 5. We're both picking top 5 Nintendo games on the Game Boy Advance and before. So we're talking about basically original Game Boy to Game Boy Advance. He's picking his top 5 games. I'm picking my top 5. He won't let me see his top 5. It's really aggravating. But he doesn't know mine either, so it's okay. Hope to see you guys then. Once again, that's at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday morning. Make sure you guys check out our schedule here at twitch.com or twitch.tv/Real Nerds Real Talk. We have changed a couple things around starting on Monday. So I hope you guys have a great day, and peace.